Yo, what's up, my mullet Sharp here, bringing you guys another video, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Road to Pro. You guys seem to like the last episode. We got to the part where we made the GB squad, Guerrilla Warfare Tactics, so we're just going to pick up right there. Before I get into this video, though, I'm currently not at the TK house. I know a lot of you guys are asking me on Twitter, you know, where are you, what's going on, and coming to my stream, asking, you know, am I playing in the closet, what's good? I'm actually back home in Kentucky right now. I'm just visiting home. It's not going to be a permanent thing. Obviously, I'm going to go back to the TK house. I just don't know when, but we'll have to see on that end. But yeah, I'm still gonna upload videos. I'm still gonna do all that stuff. I was actually trying to record best in the lobby shit today, and I couldn't really get anything. So I was like, well, fuck it. We'll just do a Road to Pro video because, like I said, you guys seem to like the last one. All right, so let's pick up where we left off. We created this GB team, Guerrilla Warfare Tactics, and at the time it was just me, my brother Gil Soto, and people that I went to school with, and some like the Woodley kid that we met online. But though they weren't like, we didn't really play that much with that team. We played a lot of pubs, and we were still going to try to grind to get 10th prestige, because at the time we thought, you know, if you got 10th prestige, you were literally the shit. You got that gold cross on Call of Duty 4, and if you got 10th prestige, you were the fucking bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, and that's what we were going for. Plus, on top of that, our teammates weren't really playing that much. We had, you know, my friend from school, he didn't really get on that much, and then Woodley and those dudes, they weren't always playing that much. So we didn't really have a full squad. We would play a lot of threes, me, my brother, and Gil Soto, and we didn't really have that like dedicated fourth to complete our full squad. Plus, I don't think Gil Soto liked playing with those other dudes very much. I know Gil Soto was funny as fuck to play with. I wish I recorded YouTube videos back then. This guy was literally genuinely, he would rage all the time. Literally would die, and my brother's name was Quickfire. I'd be like, God damn it, Quick! Like screaming at the top of his lungs. This shit was fucking hilarious. And he was like an older dude, like he had like a kid and shit, so shit was fucking comedy. But I wish I would have recorded videos back then. But anyway, so I don't think he really liked teaming with those dudes very much. And so right at the time, we were just grinding pubs, like just going hard in fucking public match lobbies. We had random people that we'd met over Xbox Live that didn't really fuck with GB, that we were just playing pubs with, and we were going for 10th prestige. And I think once we got around the 10th prestige levels, when we started taking GBs a lot more serious. Plus, on top of that, my brother found this guy on the GB forums named Wario is Back. It was just a random guy. I don't know, like, I've never been on the GB forums to try to find a player, but my brother went on there and found this guy that was like posting saying that he was looking for a search and destroy squad. And my brother's like, well, all right, let's hit him up. And so we pick up this Wario is Back guy, and later on he actually changed his name to Corrupt, but at the time when we played with him, his name was Wario is Back. And that was like our like core 4 squad. This guy, you know, Wario was kind of around our same age, you know, he was in high school, and then my brother's 2 years older than me, and then we had Gil Soto, who was older, who just, he was pretty much chilling. I think like he lived with his girlfriend at the time or whatever. I don't know, but we would play all the time. Usually late nights because we all went to high school and shit, and when we got home we would play. And then on the weekends we would I don't know how many matches we'd play on a weekend, but shit was crazy. Like we were just playing, having fun. Now our records weren't really that good at the time. We kind of had like an even record, like we'd be like 30 and 30 or 40 and 40 or something like that, but we'd have hella matches on the page, like straight grinding. And we started out like shit. We used to think we were good. Like if we just had more wins than losses, we would think that like that was good. And so that kind of just became our group of dudes that we played with, and we kept that team around, kind of like right around until my brother, he kind of started losing interest in the whole Call of Duty thing and playing Call of Duty. And so, you know, he would like play, he would be playing, but he wouldn't be taking it serious, and you know, he wouldn't be getting on, and we wouldn't play that much and all that shit. So pretty much just lost interest in it all. And we would play against this team all the time. They're called Strictly Business, and Strictly Business consisted of a guy named Mike in Brazil, Ghoulie, End of Story, this guy named Story, Stalking the Toast, and then Toast. Like a lot of these guys had a lot of the similar names. You guys know Freaky Toast, and you guys know End of Story. They actually own the organization Strictly Business now. Then you guys know the organization Strictly Business is owned by the same dudes that I actually played Call of Duty 4 with, which is nuts. So we would play against this team all the time. We would match up with them on the ladder, and we'd play against them all the time. And eventually we're sitting there like, yo, like Quickfire's kind of losing interest, And you know, then we play this team all the time. We're playing all the time. We hit up this dude, Mike in Brazil. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, "Oh, dude, that's a porn site," because his name was actually Mike, and he was Brazilian. I guess he thought it was funny, and because I know all the time people would message me, "Yo, your team with a guy, yo, are you the porn site guy?" and then all this shit. Anyway, I hit up this guy Mike in Brazil, and we pretty much talked to him, brought him into our lobby, and we're like, "Yo, like, low key, we should merge teams. We play all the time. You guys play all the time. We could just start grinding matches, have 2 separate squads going at matches at the same time." And they were like, "Yo, this sounds like a fucking dope idea, whatever." And they pretty much had the same thing as us. They had, you know, about 300 wins, 100 losses, and like I said, we had around like 150 wins and 100 losses, shit like that. We had a shit ton of GB matches, and we're like, "Yeah, let's just make a new team and let's form that." And we actually named that team Sick and Twisted, and that's when I went from Sharp Shot to just Sharp, because I made my name S&T Sharp, and our team name was Sick and Twisted, and we had multiple people on the team. And this is actually when I first met Proofy. Proofy, I want to say his name was Visions at the time, I forget, but he was on some team that was up there on the ladder, and this Mike Brazil guy was like, "Yo," he's like, "I'm gonna get my son on the team." He's like, his name, he's like, this kid is fucking is good as shit. And his name at the time was Living Proof. And I want to say this is true. Proof got his name because he's from Detroit, and the rapper Proof from like D12 Eminem's group, that's how he got his name, Living Proof. He said, "Yo, I'm gonna get my son on the team. His name is Proof." He's like, we'll get this dude. And so I talked to Proof. Yo, at the time, Proof was like this loudmouth little kid, and I was like, "Yo, this kid's fucking wild." But when I played with him, he had the best shot I've ever seen. I'm like, this kid is nuts. Like, I hope this dude joins our team. And so me and Proofy are the same age, pretty much. I think he's like a couple months older than me, maybe. And so me and him were talking at the time. We're both 15 and shit. We're sitting there, and you know, "Yeah, what up, man?" And like we became really good friends just from talking and like playing pubs and just talking about teaming. And he actually left, like they were third place on the ladder, and he just left that team. It was like, "Yo, like, I'm gonna join this team. Shit, fuck yeah, let's get it. Let's go, dad." And he wasn't really like his dad, but he called him his son, just because Mike in Brazil was older. He was like 20 something, and Proofy at the time was like 15. And so that's when I actually first met Proof. Fun fact, you know, we were both fucking scrandoms of playing on the GBS and D ladders, and I met this dude because we decided to merge teams with Strictly Business and make this team Sick and Twisted. And so yeah, pretty much like that's where I like split ways with my brother, because like I said, he just stopped losing interest in the game, and he started doing other shit. I think he got a job at Kroger grocery store or some shit. He didn't really give a he didn't really give a fuck about video games. And that's when I just kind of like went off on my own. And this is when we like took the GB team serious, and our goal on this GB team was to go 10 wins, 1 loss. So if we had 10 wins, we wanted to have 1 loss. We had 50 wins, we wanted to have at least 5 losses, or I guess at most 5 losses. We wanted to have a 10-to-1 ratio. And we actually kept that ratio. Like our team was, I don't know what our record ended up being, or we had a top 5 team on the GB ladder. Shit was crazy because we were playing 2 matches at a time. We were getting 2 3v3s at a time, sometimes 2 4v4s at a time. We were mixing up the rosters. We were playing with different people. And basically at one point that all just started going south. That team, we kind of had like a lot of, or not a lot of issues, but the people that weren't as good on the team were wanting to play in the matches all the time. So me and this Wario guy who's at the time, his name was Corrupt, were kind of like, me and him were homies, because we were probably the best ones on that team that was with me, Gil Soto, and my brother, and we were probably one of the best 2 on this new team. It was me, Corrupt, and Proofy. Proofy he was on and off the team here and there. Like he would go join other teams and he would come back and he would play. He was on and off. But me and Wario were kind of like the better players on this Sick and Twisted roster. And so, you know, it came to a point where Mike in Brazil would be working. He'd be at work and he'd be like, "Yo, Gil Soto, you're in charge. You pick the people on the team. You do this." And my dude he had a little, I don't want to say he got a little power hungry, but they were kind of like starting to sit me and Wario on the team. Me and Wario were like getting set and benched. And so I want to say we tried to submit a ticket to get leadership overturned. We tried to take over this whole roster. And that kind of ended the whole Sick and Twisted thing, because the dudes that were homies with Mike in Brazil we're like, yo, that's fucked up. We tried taking their team from them and booting them off, and you know, the homies that came from my team were like, well, this is fucked, because I think the admin like messaged them, was like, yo, your team's trying to take your team from you, all this shit, what's good? Because back then I think you could submit a ticket, and if you had enough people submit a ticket, you could get the leadership overturned. I don't know how that shit worked, but anyway, we tried taking this fool's fucking GB team and just taking it for ourselves because we didn't like the way it was being ran. And so after that, me and Wario left that squad, and we went and joined a team called Genocide that was with, you guys remember AOX? Diesel actually runs the W Rant now. If you guys know who the W Rant is, Diesel and AOX Prophecy or Prof. He was a Black Ops 2 player. He played later on down the road. But I think you guys remember the AOX squad that was with Clayster. Yeah, I joined that team with those dudes, and they were called Genocide at the time. So we'll pick up there when we get when next video happens. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's pretty much about, you know, me getting more serious in the competitive thing, where like we're talking about fucking teams over and, you know, people sketching and shit. This is like the first sketchy shit that happened. And I also met Proofy. So hope you guys enjoyed the story. If you guys did, be sure to give it a like for more, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And I will try to get you guys a best in live video at least tomorrow. I'll try to record again tonight or some shit like that. And also Omegle. A lot of people asking me about Omegle. We're gonna start doing Omegle again. I've talked to Ham and Chaos, and they're down, and we'll start doing Omegle again. So yeah, lot of shit coming, a lot of stuff in the works. Hope you guys enjoyed this video though. As always, your boy Sharp. I'm out. Peace.